Good morning, friends. Welcome to our video post. Today, we're going to continue with our theme of patience and perseverance. I didn't mention this on Tuesday, but clearly there is a situation happening that is really calling for patience and perseverance, right? That's the global pandemic that's happening. Really calling on perseverance to, with the things that we need to do that we may not want to do or may be challenging, um, but having to persevere with those as best we can for not just for our benefit, but really, everyone's benefit. And of course, patience with, we're not in control. We can persevere and do what we can to support this pandemic and this virus dying off and passing. But we're not totally in control. And so the patience with that, we're coming on, I think, is it starting 9 months now? No, it's not insignificant. And, how our lives have been impacted by it. So, demanding a lot of patience as well. And just turning back to our formal practice and our cultivation of the Eightfold Path, um, tremendous patience is needed. The time frame that the Eightfold Path unfolds in is so different than the time frames that we're used to. We're and more these days used to more instant gratification. But even when we do things that take longer periods of time, perhaps we learn a language or play an instrument or maybe go to a university to get a degree. Yes, these take some years, and so we can have an experience of that of a little bit length of time. But the Eightfold Path is really our whole life, and so the patience with that kind of different time frame that it unfolds in, it's quite different than what we might be used to. I remember hearing one time of a monk in Burma who took up the loving kindness practice and did it for 10 years, just to give themselves to it and practice it. That's all they did in their practice for 10 years was a loving kindness practice. So this sense of like much longer arcs of time. And this kind of cute story of, I forget the person's name, but it was maybe, world famous cellist, who it was, but they were in their early 90s and still practicing like 3 or 4 hours a day. And someone was interviewing them and said, why do you still practice this much? And the person said, I think I'm beginning to see some improvement. So this sense of in it for the long run, the long haul, and the patience that it takes, because this transformation of the chitta, of the heart mind, and the habit patterns that it is accustomed to, you might say, it takes time. It doesn't just happen overnight. Certainly in our practice, there can be kind of revelations, insights, seeing things clearly in a particular way or in a different way. So that can happen. Those are definitely in a moment, those are known, but to integrate them into the being and into how it is that we actually move through our life, that still takes time. And so these qualities of patience and persevering, we hit these plateaus. read a book one time on mastery, and it talked about the long plateaus broken up by little steps, kind of, you could say up, or improving, and then long, long, long plateaus. And it said that's just how mastery happens. That's generally how it plays out, regardless of what you're mastering, if it's a physical endeavor or instrument or the Eightfold Path. There are these long periods of plateau, and we need perseverance at those times. So enough said on kind of how it relates to our practice. Let's go ahead and engage in the formal practice now and feel for ourselves these qualities and bring them to bear on our practice. Letting the eyes come to close. Inviting the body to soften and relax. And even right here, just like a subtle form of patience. We're not demanding the body to relax. Just having that intention and then kind of waiting, pausing, not rushing the process. And there's that classic analogy of the glass, the muddy water. You want the water to settle, mud to settle to the bottom. You have to be patient with it. You keep picking it up to look at it and stirs it up. As the body relaxes and we be aware of that process of relaxation, the attention naturally is drawn to the body, naturally starts to connect in a somatic way with the body, feeling the body. Even as the energy settles in the body, soft tissues relaxing, everything kind of draping downwards. Still, the back rises up, manifesting the alertness in the posture. And as we follow this kind of downward movement of energy in the body as it settles, brings us into contact with the body and what's below it. These are very good places to notice sensations in the body, these contact points. Sit bones, the feet, legs touching the floor below, the mat, the cushion. Also, patience here. Many of us, so many of us, not taught, not practiced in being aware of our bodies somatically, spending much of our lives in the head, in the thought world. And then we come and try to be aware of our bodies, and sometimes people can report challenge in actually feeling sensations. When you keep directing the attention, especially to these touch points, these contact points, they're probably the easiest place to feel sensations in the body. And we do that sitting after sitting after sitting, patience and perseverance. And slowly, like stars coming out at night, when the as the as it gets darker and the conditions are supportive for it, the stars come out to be seen. Similarly, as the conditions become more supportive, the sensations of the body, the tiny points of sensations, just like stars, start to be known. And so patience with this process as well, patience with re-inhabiting our bodies, coming back into relationship with the physicality, the somatic sense of the body. It can take time. We can open the attention or widen the attention. Let it feel more of the body, move from just feeling the body at these contact points to widening the attention to feel the whole body, moving it out to like the peripheries. And seeing where in the body we notice sensations. Maybe there's other contact points like hands touching where we notice. Maybe we notice sensations in the body where parts of the body where it's not touching something. The mind gets pulled into experience, pulled into the thought realm, and mindfulness at some point arises. The bubble pops. We find ourselves back in present time awareness, and very much the time and the place for patience and perseverance. Patience with this fact that we aren't totally in charge. We cannot just will this practice to go the way we want it to. Persevering, reconnecting with the object, in this moment, sensations of the body. Settling into the somatic experience of calm body sitting, resting on the earth. And we may either consciously or it might spontaneously happen, starting to be aware of the particular sensations associated with the in and out breathing. Experiencing these sensations as not separate from the body. And so our meditation object whether it's the singular object of shamatha practice or the anchor in the vipassana practice. The meditation object becomes the sensations of the breath body. Resting back, having the attention be soft, wide, open. As the instructions in the Mindfulness of Breathing Sutta say, sensitive to the entire breath body. Feeling the breath body in as wide, expansive a way as possible. Seeing if you can have this sense of the attention resting with the sensations of the breath body. The way your head might rest on a pillow, just touching it, not bearing down on it, but definitely in contact with it. May the qualities of patience and perseverance deepen in our hearts and minds and support our cultivation of the Noble Eightfold Path. Thank you for sitting together. And so remembering to bring these qualities to bear on our life, really, as we cultivate the Eightfold Path. It's not a linear progression, is it? As we cultivate things like, generosity or our ethical conduct. Oh, there we go. Wow, I said that same thing to my partner again. It's like, okay, patience with the process, persevere, recommit. Oh, next time, let me perhaps not say that or say something else. It's these qualities can and need to be woven into our daily life and our daily life / cultivation of the Eightfold Path. Very important and very helpful. Okay, that's it for now, friends. I'll see you next week. Until then, I wish you well in all ways. Bye bye.